I've been working on some of these over the last few days, and I thought I would make a video about it because I think it's a interesting way of working, of using layers. I've been to create a scene with layers of fabric, and this is really just the very first step. This will be stitched very heavily and probably have some fabric collage on it. You can see that basically I took a photograph and then took the 3 pieces of fabric and decided where I wanted to place the landscape. What's important is to figure out the horizon line because it's different on each of the 3 fabrics. This one is about halfway down, this one is a little bit higher up, and this one is higher still. But I've marked them with pencil and where I want things to be. I'll show you the photograph of my inspiration piece that is taken on a residency in Ireland. Landscape is a big deal here, and I'm having just so much fun looking at landscape and figuring out different approaches. I'm moving on to the next section of the landscape, and I am finding it easier to let each area dry before proceeding on to the next. My next step is going in with that dilute gesso and just painting it into that one area. I could continue on into other areas, but for this one, I think I'm just going to take it a little more slowly than I might in other pieces. I do tend to rush into things and then regret the speed afterwards. So I'm just making sure that they all line up, and then I'll go in with the color. It's probably easiest for me to work from in here into the small piece towards the edge. I keep telling myself that this will have lots of stitching on top, so it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Now that I've got it all painted in that area, I'm going to separate them to dry, just so they don't come back to bite me later on. I'm ready to move on to another part of the landscape, and I've put the dilute gesso just into this area. And the line here I will add later on. It's meant to be just a little indentation in the grass for a walking path. Fortunately, the sun is shining today, so I should get these out into the sun to dry fairly quickly. I may go back in and mark again with the pencil once it's dry, because it does look like it's going to disappear. After the painting is done, I'm going to separate these and dry them separately. It's helpful to keep the layers together just to see if I'm going to miss any areas. And you can see that the canvas is popping up. I've got some T-pins that I'm going to put on. I have the canvas on coroplast, so I can pin into it quite easily. Another option might be the foam core, but I don't have any of that here, and life would be a lot easier at this residency if I had an iron, but I don't. I'm going to put that outside and come back and do some more later.